Hi, Tile at Inner Fidelity here. Today we're going to talk about the new AKG K550, just now available, although it's a little bit in and out of stock due to demand, and deservedly so. This is a full-sized sealed headphone, has very sumptuous leather padding, has this cool left and right inside the earpieces, so it's easily seen. I appreciate that. There's so many times when headphones are difficult to find the indicators for left and right. It has a metal headband, plastic or pleather covering on the headband pad. It's not a very thick headband pad, but it's quite comfortable. It adjusts in and out of the earpiece and has these cool little adjustment markings, so you can get it exactly the same on both sides. The ear pads swivel flat in order to be put in a drawer or briefcase. This is, as I said, a sealed headphone, so it helps prevent outside sounds from getting in and messing up your listening experience, and it does a fairly good job of sealing, although I will have to say it is not easy to achieve a seal necessarily on these headphones. It was for me, but in looking at the threads on Headphone, it seems that there are some difficulties having this headphone seal, and I did experience some difficulties when I measured these headphones, getting them to seal on my measurement head. They are full size, circumaural. As I said, the ear pads are quite plush and deep. Plenty of room for your ear in here, and I found them very comfortable for extended listening sessions. AKG touts this headphone as being a very good sounding headphone, more like the sound that you'd experience on an open headphone, which typically sound better, and it's easier to design an open headphone to sound good. And I will have to agree with them. I thought that this was a very good sounding sealed headphone. There are not very many good sounding sealed headphones. Ones that come to mind, for example, are the Shure SRH 840, Audio-Technica AT-M50 headphones. These are very often called out as a good recommendation for sealed headphones. And I think these headphones sound quite a bit better than those two, and of course they're a little bit more expensive. The other headphone that's often talked about when talking about good sounding sealed headphones are the Denon line, the AHD2000, D5000, and D7000 headphone. The D2000 is comparable in price to this. The D5000 and 7000 are significantly more expensive. And I think in general, the Denons do sound better. The D2000, which is more similarly priced to this headphone, I would say is a slightly better sounding headphone. The D2000 has a more refined treble. But I would say the bass on these headphones is a little bit tighter than the Denons. Although overall I'd say they're quite close, and the Denon bests them the AKGs slightly. On the other hand, the Denons don't seal very well at all. It's almost cheating. They're really not a sealed headphone. I recommend the Denon D2000 often for professionals, and have to warn them every time. The problem is this headphone does not seal very well. So although they're sealed headphones, they really don't provide very much isolation from outside noise. The AKG K550 on the other hand do provide a good amount of isolation from outside noise, and they sound nearly as good as the Denons, very close to as good as the Denons. So I thought that on balance, for a recommendation of a sealed headphone, this is a better headphone than the Denons for that application. These headphones have a really terrific, when you get a good seal, these headphones have a really terrific bass response, very smooth through the mids, have a good response in the upper mids and lower treble, really present the throat of a voice and do a great job of that. The mid and upper treble, however, are a little zazzy sounding. They're a little indistinct. They are not overly bright, however, and that's something that I hate. But they're not as refined as the Denon headphones are. Nonetheless, these are a terrific headphone for people who need a sealed headphone and want good performance, and I highly recommend them. In fact, even though the Denons sound a little better, I am going to be putting these in the Hall of Fame as a great recommendation for audio enthusiasts and professionals who want a really terrific sounding sealed headphone. I guess I should put them on so you see what they look like. I thought they are really a strikingly good good-looking headphone. Unlike a lot of headphones I reviewed recently, they look like they're made for an adult and not some rapper or something. Cable's very nice. The connector is very nice. It does come apart and has an 1/8" mini plug on it. They are efficient enough to use with a portable player, although the cable is quite long at 3 meters. But they will work as a portable headphone. Yeah, I really, really like them. Great job, AKG. So happy to see them produce a really, really terrific headphone. Well, that's it for today. We'll see you next time.